you smell that? Oh, it's you. Oh, you smell like Coffee Games and Life. Do you get it?
Up, dog.
Do you get the reference?
Thanks, Stephen Burns.
That's the Bear in the Big Blue House.
Never mind, my bad. I was thinking Blue's Clues. Ah!
Come on, man.
You also smell like Coffee Games and Life. See, I was more a Roly Poly Oly fan than I was Bear in the Big Blue House.
I love.
That was good too.
It was good stuff.
Right?
Allegra's Castle or Window was a good one too.
Oh, yes.
So thank you very much, everybody, for being here. We're very excited.
For real. Hey, what kind of nerd wears his own merch?
I don't know. You should be asking yourself that question.
Should be Mr. Boundless.
I wore the shirt.
I'm wearing a NASA shirt.
Are you?
A NASA shirt? That's your own merch too, Mr. Spaceman.
That's out of this world, dude.
That's it.
Oh, jeez. No, like I don't know. Like it's been a good day though. Has it been a good day for you guys? Yeah. No?
I mean, I woke up at 7-ish. I played Keepy Uppy with the balloons with my son. We built a fort. I made him a snack plate. I sold a shelf, and I feel like I kind of hurt my shoulder a little bit lifting that big shelf. I mean, it's only
some muscles.
this is what we do here. Anyway,
yeah, we get swole, we get jacked.
Yeah, I mean, my day's just getting started here, so yeah, I'm excited.
I'm jealous. I wish my day was just getting started.
You look tired.
How's your day going, dude? Let me tell you. I'll tell you after I hear from KB. How's your day going?
I mean, my day was good. I got to see the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. That was good. I watched Empire Strikes Back last night to get in the mood, and ate a big old thing of popcorn at 10 in the morning. So that was, how bad could your day be?
Breakfast the champion, man.
Absolutely.
I think that's a good choice. Did you do the extra butter? Did you spring for the extra butter and the popcorn seasoning?
No. I don't do extra butter. I have enough things ruining my arteries. I don't need extra butter.
Oh, come on now.
I disagree.
I'll have cardiac arrest right there in my seat. I did have my M&Ms, man. So you know what I mean. We had our peanut M&Ms. Big old slushy, dude. It was good.
Those peanut M&Ms, best M&Ms for sure.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the only bad part about my day was not being able to get the physical version of Jedi Survivor. There are no copies of Jedi Survivor physical in the Pittsburgh area.
That is crazy to me.
At Best Buy, I should say. At Best Buy, they said no store got their shipment. I could drive to Erie and pick it up if I want.
I saw them sitting in piles on the GameStop subreddit. They had piles of them and said, everybody be waiting for that Game Pass, is what it said on there. And I'm like, it's not even been confirmed that it's coming to Game Pass. Like, I mean, I'm in that same camp. I'm holding off just in case, but
not yet.
No, that's not a day one title. Definitely not from EA. EA's got to make their money. They got to nickel and dime you for everything you're worth first.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I mean, it's a big day for all y'all gamers out there. We got a lot of news which we're going to talk about. I also want to quickly comment on KB. I love popcorn. You know what? I'll go to the supermarket. I'll buy the 95-cent, the knockoff brand of microwavable popcorn. I'll sit there, pop that, and then just gorge like handfuls of popcorn at a time. Like you'll be surprised how much I can fit in my mouth when I actually try. So I love doing that.
No. Sorry.
What are you talking about? I'm talking about popcorn.
What am I talking about?
So then let me ask you this, Eric. So if we're at somewhere, let's say we went to the New York State Fair, right? We're up there and I'm like, man, I'm going to get a pretzel and a corn dog, and you see a big ass bag of popcorn. Are you going for the popcorn?
No, not in public.
You getting all the things?
Not in public. Because I want to sit down. I want to sit down with my popcorn on the couch. If I'm mobile, if I'm at the New York State Fair in Syracuse, you bet I'm getting that pretzel, that corn dog, that slice of za. But
you want to Al Bundy it. You know what I mean? On the couch, got your one hand on the old popcorn bag, the other one sitting there in the old belt loop, going, yeah, give me a sandwich and some more popcorn, woman.
See, me, I got one hand in the popcorn. I got the other hand on a can of adult soda lately. That's what we're doing.
Oh, hey, there you go.
What adult soda are we drinking?
Well, last night we had one of these, one of the Furfies.
A
Furfy.
Never mind. That's a different letter at the beginning.
Furphy.
This is brewed in Geelong, Australia. So this is a local beer.
Geelong. Is that the name, Geelong?
Yeah, Geelong. Yeah, that's it. This is where we live.
Man. I thought we had some interesting.
Geelong is fine.
Up here.
Geelong is fine. Why are you so defensive? I don't think Geelong is fine. I think Geelong's a problem.
What's wrong with it?
I don't know. I'm just calling it out at this point.
It's G-E-E long, not Geelong. Geelong.
Okay. Here's what I think. I think you'd fit in real good with the Rural King crowd.
No doubt.
Because if you go to Rural King around here, you can get a bag of popcorn as you walk in.
Mm-hmm. Join the old men in there. They get their coffee and their popcorn. It is free. It's free. That's why all the old dudes hang there on the weekend.
You just walk around looking at rakes, eating popcorn.
And chickens, man. Rakes, chickens, ducks.
By rake, it's a hardware store, tractor supply kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's not wrong about the chickens either. There's like live chickens, live rabbits, live everything. That's a farm animal.
Yo, I'll go with it. Look at some tools. Look at some animals.
Some tools. I'm looking at one right now.
I'm looking at one too. I'm looking at my own camera, dude.
Looking at one too. Damn.
Just dive on that sword real quick. Oh man, but no, it's been a good day for me too. It's Trip World, by the way.
Yes.
For those viewers out there that I know, there's a lot of you guys that have discovered this game and like this game. It launched on Limited Run Games. Today, so if you guys want to get it, you can go buy it. The good news is they don't run out of stock, so you can just order as much as you want until June 11th.
Yep,
June
11th.
May 28th. It says.
Yes, May 28th. Hold on, that's
It's
what?
This is what it says for me.
Well, that's because you're in the
June 11th. What the heck? Okay, that was weird. Okay, maybe they didn't format that link on Google
properly. Put you in the upside down world.
Yeah.
They put you in the upside down world. But that game is by far probably one of my favorite games that I've ever played. It's a really good game. I would recommend you guys go get it. I spent entirely too much money on it this morning. I bought the collector's edition of that dang thing, and then I bought the Game Boy Color version and added another plush on there just because I wanted to have it. But look at that plush! Look how freaking cute! Nice. But like the thing that's different about this one is it's colorized, so it was never released colorized, and they did a color re-release of it. It's coming to Switch, coming to Steam, coming to PlayStation's, coming to everything.
Ooh, I don't know which one I'd want to get. If I was going to get one, I would almost go the standard Game Boy one because that's the original.
What I did.
I like the color one. If I didn't have
this already, I would have, but I can't justify.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You already have it.
I can't justify buying another Game Boy original copy of it. So,
but see, like the aesthetic is just like, I feel like that's the way that the game should be played. I don't know. That's just me though.
I agree. I want to experience it on Game Boy Color, so it's a totally new experience for me.
Why not both?
Otherwise, wouldn't be able to have.
Yeah,
I just buy them all. Buy them all.
You know what I like is they worked with the guy who made the game too.
Yuichi Ueda?
It's 100% authentic. Like
that's
it
sick.
might not say Nintendo on it, but it's definitely Sunsoft 100%.
Ooh, the soundtrack, Yakubu plush, keychain,
in a
poster,
jewel case.
Yeah.
Damn.
This feels like a news segment piece, but I don't care.
No, this is personal to you, dude. You like this stuff, so what the heck?
I do love this stuff. I love this stuff. This is going to be good. Everybody should go buy it. At least go buy it so that way we get more Sunsoft stuff. I'd really like a remake of Mr. Gimmick.
Journey to Silius.
That's another one.
I would like
Journey
a
to
remake
Silius.
of that.
I don't think I've played that one.
That is an amazing Sunsoft game. Love that. Great soundtrack too. That was my first RGR cover that I ever did 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
I want to point out that 66JD said Cody is tingling talking about the Tripwire stuff, which is exactly correct.
I am tingling. It's the best. It's so amazing. It's so By the way, looking up this Journey to Silius, that cover art is friggin' amazing.
It's sick, dude.
Does it have another guy playing a banjo?
No, I wish it did. I need to get phalanx.
No, it's normal.
Oh my gosh, no, look at this. Hang on, I'm just copy image. I'm gonna send this over to Discord so that way KB can see it. And then you viewers at home or listeners at home, just do a Google.
Oh wow.
Just do a Google. But that cover art is beautiful.
Journey Silly is great,
that.
man. I'll show you
platformer? It's a platformer, right?
Looks like it.
Yeah. I'll show you some gameplay here, the NES long play. This is a great game. It's such a fantastic soundtrack too. So a Sunsoft game. There's a little bit of a story about like it's really fun. If you like Mega Man kind of games, like this is what I'd recommend that you pick up. It's hard as hell too.
Why is it that Sunsoft songs and soundtracks just go so freaking hard?
Sunsoft is the GOAT.
It just straight up reminds me of like those memes where they're like, "Hey, random composer, you didn't have to go this hard. You don't have to go that hard. It's just a game about this." And it's literally a man with a piano on fire on the beach.
Dude. The NES was great for soundtracks. The Silver Surfer soundtrack. I can't remember who did that one. Tim something. Oh my god! Wow. Check that one out. Anyway,
they have a port. This is available on Nintendo Switch Online?
Journey to Silius?
Oh, hell yeah.
This says ports on December 12th, 2019. The game was ported to Nintendo Switch for NSO subscribers.
Please play that.
Journey to Silius. What?
I wonder if it's a Japanese one.
I very much recommend you play that game. It's a great game.
I'm gonna have to check it out. But anyway, that's what my day's been. It's been Trip World all day.
Yeah. So how's everybody been this week, just as a whole? How have we been? Everybody's had a fantastic time the last 7 days since we've last gone live, or
it's been all right. I've had kids get sick. My wife gets sick. I'm still holding out immune system of an ostrich. Thanks, Kinsleby Extreme, for pointing out that ostriches have the highest immune system of any land or sea animal. I don't know about air animals because they don't fly, or at least we've never seen an ostrich fly. Maybe they do. They have wings. But either way... that's been pretty much my week, is just dealing with more sick people. I'm so sick of people being sick. Courtney, whenever I got up this morning, she was like, I feel like crap. And like she saw all of the like everything just drain out of me, just the look of defeat that goes across my face. And I just go, I'm so sick of everyone being sick. Just please be healthy. But beyond that, it's been good. I finished up Yoshi's Island ES.
Oh my god, dude.
I'm so glad to be done with that game. I don't want to play Yoshi's New Island anymore, but we're gonna
hard to watch.
On. Oh, it was so bad. It was so bad.
I don't remember that game being such a slog though.
The last world is misery. Like everything is a maze or an auto scroller that moves at 2 feet per second. Like it is just slow as could possibly be, and it's just like, why? And then they couple it with some like very difficult platforming sections that weren't present in the other 4 worlds that came before the 5th world. So it's like, oh my god. But I'm glad that's done. But that's been my week. I'm not trying to be a Deborah Downer. I'm just trying to be. It's just been a week.
It's fine. So, KB, what about you? What's still dealing with some trash pandas over there?
Throw it in the bin.
Throw
the week in the bin. We got rid of the trash panda. It is gone. We've evicted a tanuki from the successfully from the chimney.
You didn't get to keep him?
I wanted to. The thing looked like it wanted to kill me at one point. I took a picture of it and it was holding its head sideways and looking at me. And
send a photo of that? We'll put that on the show here.
Yeah. Let me post that while I talk about that.
Send that through. We'll react to that.
Please do.
Do a panda react.
I sat there. You know, I helped Mrs. KB at one point put plastic sheeting on the pillars of the porch, and then she put Vaseline all over it to try to deter it from climbing. So then the thing decided to climb up the siding of the house. Like, you know, that corner cap they put on to like tuck all the ends of the siding in? It put its little paws in there and shimmied itself all the way up. So like that was fun. So that didn't work, and then we did she went to Tractor Supply, and I said, did you see the little chickens? Did you get your popcorn? You know what I mean? She's like, no, I went in for a rodent trap and left.
I went in to kill it.
I'm like, I'm like, all right, cool. So that's fine. There you go. Picture should be in there now.
Oh my god. It's adorable.
And we went. Yeah, there it is. There's little Mario. There's our little tanuki.
Oh, I mean, you know,
so cute.
Aside from it giving you rabies, it's cute.
Rabies and apparently roundworm too.
Yep.
I ain't afraid of no rabies.
That's what I said too. I'm like, what's gonna happen? It's gonna bite me or scratch me, and I gotta get a series of shots, whatever. Like, so we put the trap out the first night, nothing. Then we moved it to the back of the house, and I'm hearing something scurrying around on the front porch, and I look, and I'm like, SOB, there it is, looking for food, looking for the stuff we put out. So she put the trap back on the front porch under a chair, and she mixed up a little plate, and I'm like, I'm gonna take a slice of salami and I'm gonna let it sit out, because you know how when you let lunch meat sit out, it gets that sweat to it, that funk. So I took the salami and I'm rubbing it all over the front porch like 9:30 at night, and then sure enough, there it is, 6:30 in the morning. I'm going to the park 5 miles away to catch and release this thing. And I go, the power of salami compelled it to go into the trap. Nobody can resist the power of salami. Yeah, you know what I mean?
One step close to hot dog Christ, but you know.
Yeah.
Well, like I'm sitting there because those traps have a safety on the top. So you lift that up and you pull the front forward. And the thing was sticking its little hands out, trying to like get out. And at one point, my hand was like an inch away from its hand, and I was like, "Oh, I want to take you home and let you sit in the car." And I'm like, "Nope, go away." Like, you need to leave. Yeah, you can't. And like it scurried away, and that was it. So now we there's nothing like that. Chimney is blocked off. It was an old coal chimney, so. There's like, we don't have a use for it. We have modern heating solutions these days. And we thought for the longest time there was like a cap or some grate or something on that. There's nothing. And to get some sort of cap put on is $1,000.
Oh my God.
So I might go get some sort of urethane and take my 6-foot self up a ladder, maybe, I don't know, and put glued chicken wire to the top of it. I'm okay going up ladders. I can't figure out how to go down, and it's like a 15-foot drop from the top of the roof to the just
get a drone to drop a blanket over the top.
You live there now. This is where you are now.
I'll get a pulley system and have her bring my computer up to the top there, and
very scenic streaming room.
Maybe in the summertime, when it's 80 degrees, it won't be so bad.
Well, I gotta say, man, nothing like having a Trash Panda podcast debut. I bet he never thought he'd be on the show this week, but good for him.
I'll tell you what, it was nice because like our one friend was like, "Oh, I'll come and kill it," and I'm like, I'm not like about that. Like, it did nothing to me. It didn't attack the dogs. I have no reason to kill it. I just want to catch it and put it back. Like, live your best life, just not in my house.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Like. It's like a deer. If a deer wants to mosey through until you charge me or my dogs, I don't have a problem with you. Like, live your best life. Be free. You know what I mean? Do your thing. But man, that was good. Got it out, but then we found out the cost for a chimney thing is a little more than we wanted. So
yeah, it's pretty steep, dude. That is really steep.
And then we found out Tipper has pink eye, so that's fun. God. So now we have to put eye goop, we call it. It's like, it's not drops, it's like a cream you put in, that you smear on their eyes. So that's fun too. So we've been telling everybody Sammy farted on Tipper's pillow or his face and gave him pink eye.
It's making my eyes want to water just thinking about having like slime just rubbed across my eyes, and I'm just like, no.
Like for me, touching eyeballs is nothing, so I have contacts. So like, I don't care. It's no big deal. But like, I have to distract Tipper with a treat, and then Mrs. KB has to be the eyeball toucher. And she tried contacts, couldn't do it. She's like, the whole eyeball thing can't do it. But then here she is having to do that. So
no,
it's not her eye. Just like,
yeah, like I could do that. You know what I mean? Like it's like we had something good. Then we had something bad, then something bad, then like today, something good. Got to see Star Wars, got my Switch. Couldn't get a physical Jedi Survivor. I'm like, man,
We're gonna have to see that Switch later on in the show. But in the meantime, how's your week been, Eric?
Yeah, good. It's just stock standard week, which is fine. I played through almost all of Golden Sun on my Game Boy Advance this week. Plowing through, man.
Not a short game. That is not a short game.
Well, you can beat it between 15 and 20 hours, and I need you to understand that I barely do anything at work, all right, because it's quiet. So what else am I going to do? Am I going to read?
Yeah,
Why would I do something constructive like that?
Educate myself.
What do you want me to do? Read the dictionary? No, I want to play Golden Sun for 15 hours a week. So what the hell? So I got that. I scored Golden Sun: The Lost Age for $9 on the Facebook Marketplace.
It's amazing.
That was the final sale price. Somebody, I think, didn't know what they had. So I got like $100 game for $9. So that's coming to me in the mail. That was a good deal because that's a great game too. And I'll finish that because I like the fact that you can pass over your game save with like a 34 character password.
Take half an hour to put it in on your own.
Oh my god,
that's cool.
Yeah, it's got paid to play the game. Shiny Bird says absolutely. And you know what? If the higher ups are watching, what are they gonna do? You know what I mean? I get all my work done on time. Everything's done. I have 28 5-star reviews on my shop that I run by myself. So what are you gonna do? Fire me.
Farming those 5-star reviews.
Sorry, I don't mean to flex, but I mean, come on.
I don't mean to flex.
I didn't mention this on the show last week, but I back to the Retro Game Remix stuff last week, and this week I put a new song out 12 hours ago. Very happy with how things are sounding lately, so that's pretty good. Gearing up for Turn-Based Volume 2 soonish, so please look forward to that. I've had a lot of great feedback so far from everybody on the music front, and just chugging away in the videos as well, so just doing my best to stay consistent.
Hell yeah.
Yep. That's all we can do.
It's a good week.
Yeah. You know what? The best way to cap the week off, I can tell you, is by checking out this voicemail that we have right here.
Hello. It is I, your machine overlord, I mean human friend, Mr. Sexy Breakfast. I bring a question. What is the best handheld system? Thank you for answering my question, and remember, I will enslave the human race, I mean make breakfast.
Oh, Mr. Sexy Breakfast, what's the best handheld system? Oh, it's the one that you have beside you. That's the best handheld system, but if I had to pick one out of all the ones that I have beside me, oh shoot. I would have to say I am actually a really, really big fan of the 3DS.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of options between its Virtual Console, its 3DS library, its DS library, its DSiWare stuff. Like, I mean, just everything. And it's one of those consoles that I think kind of stands the test of time too, because it is unique and gimmicky enough, but it's also pretty powerful. That would be my answer.
This is a tough one. Kansas B says Steam Deck in the chat. Steam Deck's great, but if I want to think, right now I want to say Game Boy Advance because that's the train that I'm on lately. But I have to say, overall, based on like my hours of enjoyment playing it growing up, I would have to say the PSP.
Yeah, I'd have to go Vita, and I love my Steam Decks, man. But like PS Vita, I mean, I bought 4 of them.
Yep.
PS Vita was ahead of its time. It still holds up. I mean, in a world where everything's handheld PC, the Vita still holds up, man. You can play everything. You can play you can emulate whatever you want. You can play just about everything on it almost. I mean, you can't play like a PS3 game, but all the games Vita had, oh man, they should have been PS3 games.
Some good games, man.
The only holdup I have with like a Steam Deck is that it's hard for me to call that a handheld. It is so wide and so big and so hard for me to like take anywhere if I want to without feeling like a big oof. I want to love the Steam Deck, and I think that's why I don't immediately jump to that to say it's the best handheld of all time, because like it is one of those that like literally can do everything. There's not a thing on this planet hardly that it cannot do, except I guess run Jedi Survivors. I don't know.
Really nothing can do that.
Right? That being said, like, I mean, I missed out on the Sony era of handhelds, but I wasn't a Sony kid growing up. I was a big Nintendo kid just in general. So all the Game Boys I had, and then I remember working an entire summer with my dad wiring houses to be able to afford my first DS. It was a white DS Lite. Rest its soul. I don't know what's happened to it, but that being said, like, I don't know. I had borrowed a PSP from a friend, and I really liked the UMD disc system. I thought that was a cool thing.
It's cool.
And being able to play movies and things on there, I thought that was neat. But I never had, just didn't have it.
Do you remember the Game Boy Advance movies? Like, I remember there was like they had the little film reels on there on the top of the cartridge. Like, I remember you could watch like an episode of Pokemon on there.
I think KB, myself, and I think Pitt, if he's out there in the viewership, I don't know if he is, but we were watching a majority of Shrek on Game Boy Video one night off of an old ROM that I have. I can send you all of them. I've got all of the Game Boy videos.
Well, if you ever really want to watch Shrek, watch it on the Game Boy Advance. It's
the best way. It's the best way to watch it.
It's the way to do it.
Well, we'll be right back after these words.
Hey guys, so speaking of handhelds, there's one specific handheld that I think we can all agree that we love. It may not be the best handheld, and it's definitely not the worst, but it's one that we played and invested a lot of time in over the past few years. Over the past 6 years, it's the Nintendo Switch. And what is a Nintendo Switch if it is not filled with indie games that we love? And this last week we had a Nintendo Indie Direct, the Indie World Showcase that they like to do, where they really get to call out some of the people that have these games that are coming out that you could have played on Steam probably 9 months ago. That being said, there's a bunch of games that are actually coming that I'm excited to play on, especially if you don't have a gaming PC or a Steam Deck. You get a chance to actually play these, because I would argue way more people have a Switch than they have any of the other two things.
Definitely.
But a couple of highlights off of this list, and the biggest ones that kind of caught my eye. I was super excited for Blasphemous 2. If you guys are a big fan of Dark Souls and Souls-like experiences, Blasphemous is like a 2D platformer Dark Souls experience that really leans heavy into its Dark Souls inspiration. It has beautiful pixel art. It's got a good open world, and it's a Metroidvania, but it is really cool, extremely dark. I would argue that the bosses in this game are significantly darker than anything you'd find in actual Dark Souls.
This reminds me of the Castlevania games on Game Boy Advance.
Yes, and that's a lot of what they want to harken back to. But the one thing I can't get behind is that ridiculous cone head that poor man has to wear. But some extremely disturbing Renaissance style, like macabre art in the backgrounds that you see. It's beautiful. Oxenfree 2 Lost Signals got a date for the 12th of July, which I'm very excited about. I didn't know that was coming this soon. I thought that was going to be a wintertime game for some reason. And then the final big game that they closed out their show with was Bomb Rush Cyberfunk. And if you guys are a fan of Jet Set Radio, Bomb Rush Cyberfunk is going to scratch that itch that we have not had since the Dreamcast era of games, honestly. Like, it is everything.
Wow.
That it's edgy, it's 90s, it's in your face, it's going to have a pretty solid soundtrack. I mean, the audio in this is really, really good. I like the character designs. It's pretty too. Like, that's the other thing, is it is pretty. It's not made by the same people, but consider this a spiritual successor in every single way.
Dude, this is like spot on the Jet Set Radio art.
I thought they had somebody from Jet Set Radio on there. One like composer, maybe.
They do. They do. And it's not the full team, unfortunately. As much as I'd love to see Jet Set Radio 2 actually happen instead of Jet Grind Radio. Let's get that garbage out of here. But Cult of the Lamb Relics, the Old Faith update. I mean, there's a lot of stuff, but those are kind of your big hits. If you guys want to see all of the trailers, Nintendo's got them hosted on their channel. They started dropping them this past week right after. This game, Little Kitty Big City, is by far the closest thing to what people, I think, that bought Stray expected they were going to be getting.
Yes.
This is Goat Simulator meets Cat. This is Untitled Goose Game meets Kitten. It is everything that I think people actually wanted, but didn't get.
I'm all for that. There's Cat with the Ducks. Oh man. Okay.
Cat with Doge. Shiba Inu.
I tell you what, I'm all for that.
Animal Well is another one I would call out for you guys that was on that list. It's not it's not a big hitter, but it's got some really pretty pixel art, and there's a good team behind it. So,
well, speaking of other things that were announced that were Nintendo related, this is really cool. I'm finding about this morning. Donkey Kong Lego Super Mario expansion sets revealed. Pre-orders now live. Let's have a look at some of these photos. This is freaking sick AF. Look at they got Funky Kong. They got Funky Kong, Diddy Kong. You got the mine cart set. You got the shark there. You got Funky Kong's plane. So this is more similar to Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze.
Yep.
The Super Mario Donkey Kong expansion set. OM freaking G. That's sick. That launches at $110 US. Donkey Kong's Treehouse. Let's have a look at this one. $59.99. Wow. So you have DK with his signature tie. You have Cranky Kong. This is so cool. Where was this stuff when we were kids? And then you can expand with Mario as well. So you can build the entire pretty much Mario set, and you can have Mario riding on DK. This is cool. You know, like I haven't bought any of the Nintendo Legos or Mario Legos or whatever, but I might actually spring for these because I think that the DK Legos look cooler than the standard ones as well. And then there's Dixie Kong's Jungle set, whatever it's called, a Jungle Jam expansion set. So Dixie Kong has the guitar with Squawk and the microphone. Oh my god, when Amber sees these, she's gonna flip out. And there's Rambi the Rhino for $11. These are super cool. Look at this.
Very cool.
Oh, man.
Cool. I'm so disappointed that Diddy and DK have been separated into two different sets. It just pisses me off that in order to get Diddy, I also have to buy the now with Funky Kong expansion.
$110 for Diddy.
Freaking thing just to get Diddy. Dixie I could pass on. I like Dixie. That's honestly like Donkey Kong Country 2 is probably my favorite Donkey Kong Country out of the three. But I mean, you got to have the main man himself, right?
So cool, man. I'd love that.
My question is, they had the Mario sets, and then we got a Mario movie. Now we have the DK sets. Do we think maybe we see Donkey Kong Country the movie?
Yes.
You know, I mean, they already have the cast there, and I'm sure they probably hinted to them. You know, would you want to do something again?
Dude.
That's one of the things that so Nintendo no, my apologies, not Nintendo Life, all things Nintendo, the Game Informer podcast, they had interviewed Seth Rogen post the movie launch and asked Seth Rogen, you know, what would you like to see? And of course he's going to answer his own character. He said, I'd like to see a DK movie. But I mean, he's in full belief and fully on board to go on for another, 5 films as DK, and I don't blame him. It's a good little cash cow for him.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Especially
Imagine if they get the rare team.
Dude, the rare team. I mean, there's a lot of potential there.
If only they would just properly credit their composers, right? Musicians, Grant Kirkhope and David Wise.
Oh, yes.
Oh man.
So what else? You know, it's funny you say sad days, because here's something that might make some people sad. The UK, the United Kingdom, the former Queen's,
the artist formerly known as Queen.
The artist formerly known as Queen, Her Royal Majesty's land has decided to block the $69 billion Activision deal over cloud gaming concerns. This is something we've been following on this show since the birth of the Activision Blizzard deal. It's real shocking to see that the UK of all places are like, yeah, no. And the article here starts out with Britain will block Microsoft's $69 billion acquisition of Call of Duty maker Activision over concerns it would hinder competition in cloud gaming, dealing an unexpected blow to the biggest ever deal in gaming. The country's antitrust regulator said on Wednesday that Microsoft's commitment to offer access to Activision's multi-billion-dollar Call of Duty franchise to leading cloud gaming platforms would not effectively remedy its concerns. Microsoft's president, Brad Smith, said in a statement, the company remained fully committed to the acquisition and would appeal the decision, while Activision said it would work aggressively with Microsoft to reverse it. Activision CEO Bobby Kotick told staff it was not the news he wanted. Well, go figure. But it is far from the final word on this deal. We will reassess our growth plans for the UK, the company said in a separate statement. Global innovators, large and small, will take note that despite all its rhetoric, the UK is clearly closed for business. Now, that statement right there is a little concerning for those living in the UK, because if they block this deal and it's very successful, I could honestly see other companies saying, you know what, maybe we don't do as much business with the UK. You know, they might look at numbers as a whole and say, you know what, there's a bigger market in the European side of things that the old Brits just don't get. So it's very very poopy.
That could be. I mean, that's the end of Spyro. That's the end of Crash. Yep. That's the end of Call of Duty for UK peeps, that sucks to see them get blocked by and DJ Bob in the live chat says Bobby Kotick needs to get thrown into a volcano.
I know.
By a guy who legitimately does deserve to be thrown into a volcano. Sorry, Activision. I know you're never going to sponsor us now. Not that you were considering it, but that being said, it sucks that he's so hot when he responds about this. It's just it is like a toddler throwing a tantrum going, well, okay, fine, you're not going to be able to play with my toys then if I can't do this. And while I would argue that this deal from Microsoft and Activision going together is a better deal for gamers as a whole, I legit do believe that.
Yes,
I legitimately believe that. It sucks because money is what is getting in the way of that. Not a single person said anything about Sega buying Rovio this last week.
Nope.
Where's that news? Granted, it's Angry Birds, but
I think the biggest issue is Sony dragging their heels on the whole thing, saying, well, Microsoft's going to be the giant entity that I just can't compete with, and the Activision stock has plummeted before ever since news of Bobby Kotick and his band of cronies. That has since depreciated. Now I don't even think they're at $70 right now after this UK thing. So I can honestly see Activision going bankrupt and then Microsoft just absorbing them that way. Yep. So you know what? Let your company go to hell. Put it to bed. Just get rid of it, and then we'll just absorb everything and own all your assets. There's going to be a way that it works out, whether it's through an acquisition fully or Microsoft buying them.
Maybe that's why. I mean, maybe that's why he's so incendiary. He's like, let's tank the market values. That way people don't think that we're in a position that anyone's going to care about. And that way Microsoft can just go ahead and do the deal and everybody gets over it.
Could be. I don't know. It's funny to see Sony complain and cry so much that now everybody's like, well, you know what, maybe they have a point. And when they don't, Sony sucked. Sony did not jump on the cloud gaming and all that stuff and cloud services. They didn't do it right. They didn't have a good business model for it. Microsoft did. And I think now they're shooting themselves in the foot, and this deal could be the end to, in their eyes, the end to their premium 3-tier service.
It's the truth. That is the truth. Speaking of Sony.
Wait, I just want to quickly interject here before I toss it over to you. I have one really quick point. Nothing says a huge blow like 69 billion. Just kidding. Go ahead.
Speaking of Sony. Oh, no. I have no segue now. Anyway.
I have nothing to contribute by that.
No, I do, actually. So he was talking about a huge blow in 69. Well, there's something coming on Peacock that's going to be coming out here pretty soon, and it is wait for it. It is a new adaptation of Sony's most popular car mayhem racer arena battler, Twisted Metal, starring none other than the Falcon himself, Anthony Mackie.
This picture is so weird.
I am off put by how much pink there is in this that I was not prepared for in a game where there is really not a whole lot of pink. Unless it's entrails.
The lightning had pink to it.
That's true. I'll give you that.
But his head is photoshopped. It's so bad. Its head is bigger than its shoulders.
It's giant. I didn't even realize that. Let's do it.
Wow.
I've got to zoom in. Holy cow. Enhance. It is so big. His head is so big.
Maybe he's just got a big head.
Give Anthony Mackie a break here, Glad. I'm on the side of KB.
No.
He's got a big head.
But they did announce a premiere date for its long-time coming TV adaptation, PlayStation's apocalyptic vehicular franchise, Twisted Metal. This series is now scheduled to premiere on the Peacock streaming service on July 27th. The teaser that you guys are going to be seeing here, starting now, is kind of a weird one. Because in this, you get Nobody Gonna Steal My Sunshine as the song that they've accompanied with it on his road mix. Anthony Mackie doing a little jig in the front seat here. But then it gives way to some of the chaos that you're going to see in this juxtaposition of like these very clashing ideas that are going on in this series, because it's supposed to be fun and lighthearted. And now it's car with guns. So I'm excited for it. I hope you guys are excited for it. I've been really, really clamoring for this for a long time. And then the final little bit here in this teaser is probably the thing that people are most waiting for. Please go watch this. Like, it's going to be good. It's Samoa Joe. I think that's Samoa Joe as Sweet Tooth, the titular villain from Twisted Metal.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
Man, it's been a while since I played that game. I think last one I played was on PSP. It was either PSP or Vita was the last time I played one of those.
I've never played a game in that series.
You've never played any Twisted Metal?
Nope.
Oh, dude, they're fun.
It's dark. It is dark in terms of story. Like, I remember, because I wasn't a Sony kid, but my cousin had all the Sony stations, and so I remember I borrowed the instruction manual from Twisted Metal 2, I believe, and read through the storyline that they have in the beginning of that. And me as like 10, 11-year-old Cody is like, oh God, this is messed up. Where can I get more of this? Like, just how I was wired.
This is dark. I like it.
Yep, I do. Darkness, no parents.
Well, speaking of darkness, get ready, Argentinians, because your country is about to be owing your entire GDP to Nintendo, just like Gary Bowser was last week. Argentine TV channel broadcasts the Super Mario Brothers movie in its entirety. How does this happen? The home release of Super Mario Brothers movie is a number of months off, as the film is still killing it at the box office, as Go Nintendo says. If you want to see the movie, you have to head to theaters, unless you live in Argentina, that is. We're not sure how this came about, but believe it or not, the entire movie was broadcast on the Argentine TV channel Gen TV from start to finish a week after it was released in theaters. Just to make this clear, this was in no way, shape, or form approved by anyone involved with the movie, which means the TV network is in no doubt ready for some very heavy fines. Obviously, this movie is going to create bigger problems for this particular TV company, because Illumination Nintendo is going to come after them. And if they showed it in high quality, that means they've got a pretty good rip of the movie. I think we do have somebody.
If anyone finds that, please don't send it to me.
Don't.
66JD, I don't think he has one, and I don't think he'll pass one on.
No, never.
No, not him. He's an angel.
No, I don't think he would ever do that. So there you go.
It's crazy. Like, I can't believe that went by like so easily, because I mean, like, it's one of those things where it was a high quality, like, actual video. It wasn't film. And the way they have those heavily encrypted, how the heck did they get that onto their television? Like, on their television station? It's insane to me.
No clue.
It's Argentina, man. There's rules there, but they're very
Wild West.
That's fair. That's totally, completely, 100% fair. You're right.
I mean, pretty sure they still have their phones bugged in Argentina.
Oh my gosh.
Probably.
Or is that Venezuela? Can't remember.
I've heard it's all of Central America and further south. It's terrifying because the cops are coming after anybody. It doesn't matter unless you got a bribe. Like, they're coming after you. Like,
well, at least you can get arrested though. Here and Mario go, what? In the background.
It's me.
I'm down for it. I'm going to do something very illegal.
I'm going to jail.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway,
that's
but
great.
No, man, that's a whole box of worms I don't want to open.
Hey, speaking of opening a box, Look what I got.
Oh yeah.
Dude.
I have to lean back just to get in here with me.
It's so amazing. It's so pretty. Did you pick that up today?
I did. I picked this up today.
Just making sure it wasn't last week or a month ago, you know.
No, I'm not that fortunate to, you know, have a mom and pop game shop in New York City that wants to break street date on the video game and the console. But that's nor here nor there.
I understand. I'm jealous, but I understand.
I'm jealous too. That's why I'm salty. Like, throw me some love.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? There's 3 of us here. We'd love to play it and make reviews. You know, just love us. Just give me a little kiss.
A little bit.
Just a little. Just
a little.
Just, you know what I mean? That's all I'm looking for. That's all. That's it.
Oh,
anyway,
man.
This is the back. Okay. So if you shameless plug twitch.tv// whatever the hell Kitsune Bites, I'll be unboxing this with everything else on May 12th. This right now though, I'm going to open it up for you guys. Just a quick little teaser. Just a quick
early. It's the early showing.
Yeah, because you know this is the podcast. We gotta
just show me the right Joy-Con. That's all I want to see. I want to see the one that's.
So hold on.
I want to say the wrong one.
So first you got this guy here.
It's so freaking pretty. Can you lower that for the people?
Yes. I'm trying to make sure that it's
just that slow pan down.
There it is.
Oh.
There's the one side. Here's the back.
Oh, it's got insignia on the back too.
It does.
I didn't know it had insignia on the back of the Joy-Con.
So it has a little something there. Okay. Then you have this bad boy. It's going to be upside down. Because they put it in the bag.
That's so freaking pretty. So
look at that. That's nice. Let me try to get it back here.
That gold pops so well.
But this also, that has the insignia on the back of it as well.
Oh. I gotta buy this.
If we go to the actual Switch itself, it's an OLED, so you know nothing really crazy going on there on the front. But if we take the back and I can catch the light right, you might be able to see that back. Hold on.
Almost. Come on, lighting.
Is that it?
The man.
Come on.
There you go. There it is.
Yes.
Like I said, I'm gonna slowly turn it so that people can kind of see it, but like it's nice. It's very nice.
There we go. That's much better. Oh man, that was beautiful.
So that's the back of it. Nothing real crazy. It does have a texture to it. I was telling them earlier, it kind of has like a papery feel to it. It's really weird. It doesn't feel like a textured plastic. It feels like some sort of velvet. Like it's weird. It's really weird. Like the soft construction paper that you had in like first grade to make your Thanksgiving Day turkey.
Construction paper, hell yeah, dude.
It feels like that. And then I'll show you the dock real quick. The dock is what's really cool because there's a ton of stuff on the dock. The dock it's all white, and they have some things hidden there. So let me try to get this out of the paper or the plastic. I'm gonna have to hold it long ways for the people. You can kind of see the inside's a little bit painted and glossy. Hold on, which way do I have to go? Left.
It's beautiful. I love the gold insignia. I like that Hylian crest they have on there with like the tribal-esque like. It kind of reminds me of like old school Native American artwork in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
It's very pretty.
So when you have the Joy-Cons on it, because I did dock it, and I'm actually going to send Eric a picture of that so you guys can see how it looks docked. Because I asked Mrs. KB, I said, "Do you want the pre-screen?" And she said, "Oh, absolutely." So there it is docked, and now if you look, the swirls on the Joy-Con and the swirl and the like little things on the other side, they kind of go together with that.
Oh my gosh. That's embossed. That's not even just like
and there, thank you
into it. It's embossed.
Thank you for zooming in on that because you can see the ghosting graphics they have in there too, which look really good.
I said to the guys before we went live, but I wonder if there are some spoilers hidden in plain sight here that we just don't know about.
Someone's going to be decrypting that like text looking stuff that's going in that upper right hand.
Hey, everybody, welcome to Clay. Today we're going to be going over 50 things that you missed on the new Zelda OLED Switch.
You need to get ahead of that, KB. You just need to get ahead of it right now.
It's definitely it's like I've been holding out for a special edition Switch for a very, very long time now.
Hey guys, Thundery Thinkers here. Today we're going to be going over 50 details you missed in the left bottommost triangle on the Triforce.
Well, hold on. If I want to do that, then that means when I get employees, I need to underpay them and then steal all their things and say they're mine, right? I get to do that.
We throwing all kinds of shade around the
I'm
internet.
sorry, I'm not talking shit. It's funny. That's what they do.
Shit.
I love it.
They do though. But yeah, so there's the Switch. Like I said, I'll have a better unboxing, a better look at it on May 12th over on my channel with all the other Zelda goodies I have coming. I have the Pro Controller, the Amiibo, and the Collector's Edition game coming. So
Nice.
I didn't want to buy it. I didn't want to buy it. Now I really want to buy it. Mrs. Nerd, I'm pleading. I'm kidding. I just spent so much money on Trip World. I can't bankrupt us for that. Anyway.
Yeah, you can. Nothing matters in this world.
Nothing else matters except for OLED. Oh, man. Do we want to move on to the topic before I get myself into insane debt that I will never recover from?
Sure.
Yep. We'll be right back after these brief words. So while we're on the topic of consoles, today's topic is consoles, and not just consoles, stock standard ones. We're talking about the most specialist of special editions and what our favorite special edition consoles are as a bonus. But the topic du jour, topic of the day is if we could have a custom special edition console, like a one-off or whatever, that hasn't been made, that could be made, what would we choose? What would we choose?
Man.
Well, I already have mine because Zelda Breath of the Wild was the first game I played with Mrs. KB because I met her about 2-3 weeks after the Switch came out. So like we've been together as old as the Switch is. So super easy to remember how long we've been at it. So that holds a special spot for me. Like there's been a time the Pokemon ones look good, the Splatoon ones look good there, but I was holding out for a really good Zelda one, and I have that now. So like I'm set. I have my sought after Switch Collector's Edition now. I mean, the only other one I could think of would be like an actual Mario Kart one. You know, show us like the tires and everything. But other than that, we won't get that.
That would be really cool. I'd like to have all that, like kind of like how it has the swirls on the back of yours, where it has like I don't know if you've seen like that Mario Kart 8 pattern that they've done on everything. Like do that on the back of it inlaid in the black. I think that'd be freaking sick. You're right. You know what I was thinking of, and it's something that doesn't exist as it currently stands. But Nintendo got really hardcore into doing the minis and the remakes of their old classic consoles. I mean, we got the SNES Classic. You got the NES Classic. You got the Game & Watches. One thing that I think I would have loved to have had is a celebration of all things Game Boy, but more specifically, like a DMG with everything loaded onto it, but in the form factor, the thinness of a phone. Like, that's what I wanted more than anything. Cause like my Analog Pocket, like it meets a lot of that need, but it's very thick. It's a thick boy. And I would love for them to do something along the lines of that, where it is a celebration of all things Game Boy. Throw it out in like 5 different colors. I don't care. Do it the Play It Loud models. Give us the clear, the black, the yellow, the blue, the red. But like, I thought it would be really cool to have something like that. And unfortunately, I don't think we're ever going to get handed anything like that. I don't think Nintendo's ever looking back at their classic model stuff ever again.
Don't think so.
As much as I would like it, but something that's more realistic that I would love to have, honestly, is quite possibly, and it's my topic of the day. I would love to see a Trip World standard Switch. I mean, give me something in an all white form factor, and more specifically kind of like the cover art that they have for the Japanese version of it, where it's not all the colors. Give me all white. Give me that flower on the main back. And I know we already have all white Joy-Cons, but we've never had a white body Switch.
No,
We've only had black, or black with like random color or random inlays in it. And I would love to have an all white body Switch that's very evocative of like the Wii era kind of stuff too in some ways. I think it'd be cool.
I'm right there with you on the Game Boy stuff. I would love to see a DMG come back or a GBC come back in some capacity. But I mean, they're not going to do that because they have the NSO stuff and like all the things that we want as Nintendo fans will never come out. I have absolutely no idea on special editions on what I would want aside from the Game Boy thing. I mean, because a lot of the special editions that I've seen, like I can show some examples here that are really cool that have actually come out, like the Crisis Core PSP.
Yep.
That's a cool one. 6680 has that. I recently announced the other day on Twitter here was the Final Fantasy 16 DualSense, which is really cool. This is really neat.
Oh my God.
However,
Nice.
the plain ass black faceplates for Final Fantasy 16. I mean, come on, that is, they're gonna
You can
charge.
buy just the faceplates though?
Yeah, Sony made
Hopefully.
it. You can buy just those.
Oh, okay,
now.
cool. Then I don't have to buy a whole new PS5.
Yeah, because I'll buy those. I mean, they'll come from Japan, so you pay a premium on them. But like,
Yeah.
I mean that's cool. There are some other cool things as well. Let me see if I can. This goes into mod territory here, and we can talk about some modding stuff as well. Let me bring this up because this is absolutely beautiful, and I've discussed this before, saying that I would actually like to do this, and I think I'll do this once we go back to the States this year. The clear, transparent smoke Super Nintendo. Can I bring this up in a new? This is absolutely gorgeous,
clean, dude.
Look
Yeah.
at this. So these are aftermarket
nice.
shells you can grab for the Super Nintendo. So like the custom ones that like I would want that companies haven't made, third party people are doing them and they look so good. Like this is just gorgeous, a reshell. Like I would never think to reshell my Super Nintendo, but like I would do that 100%. So that's kind of I'm kind of in two minds about that.
I saw a person do a Super Nintendo kind of like that with a clear acrylic. They built their own case, but they submerged it into water. They submerged the PCB into water and made it a fish tank also. If I could find that video, it's sick. I just can't imagine the longevity of that PCB being anything that it needs to be. But like if I wanted to talk about ones, do you have like a white whale out there for like a console variation that you've been looking for over the years? I have two that I would love to have, and I haven't been able to get them.
I can't think of any like white whale. Tell me yours and maybe something will come to mind.
So I really want the Final Fantasy Game Boy Micro.
Oh yeah.
There's a Final Fantasy Game Boy Micro that is blue, and it has. They actually have. I think there's two different versions of them. I want the blue one, and it is freaking beautiful. Quite possibly one of the best ones. But the problem is like all the ones that I see for that, the back plates are scratched all to heck and back, and I'm not going to pay the premium price for the back to be scratched up the way that it is.
Yum.
But I really love
That's gorgeous.
just everything about that faceplate, everything about the actual like back plate. That's the first one. And the second one that I want is a GameCube. And I'm not a big Gundam dude, but the Char GameCube, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this one. They have a Char Wavebird and they have a Char GameCube. And it is like this cherry red with the Char symbol on the top. The Wavebird is beautiful on it too.
Oh my god.
Those are my white whales. Those are my white whales that I will probably never, ever, ever, ever see in good condition anywhere or at a value that I can afford.
Wow.
The Char GameCube itself, I mean, it goes for insane amounts of money anyway. And that's not even speaking about the Wavebird. But those are like my go-to like white whales that I would love to have.
Buy one of these Panasonic Q.
Oh
That's
yeah.
another one. That's another one, but I always said forget it. I'm never going to see it. In Japanese, Chinese only, right? Because they couldn't release the Nintendo products in in China. So they went under a different branding and had Panasonic manufacture them under a different branding called the Q.
It's got a DVD player in it too.
Pretty
neat.
So sick.
Pretty neat. What about you, KB? What's your coveted thing? And then we can show off our stuff that we have.
I know I would love to find a Virtual Boy. Man, that is my, because like I could probably find outside of like Nintendo consoles, I really only need an NES, an NES, wow, and a Virtual Boy. And if I could find the Virtual Boy for a decent price that isn't totally broken, I would jump on that.
I run repairs on mine once a year. So it is a problem. I love my Virtual Boy, but the games are limited, but the ones that I have, like Tellero Boxer, Mario Tennis, and Wario Land, those are probably the 3 best games on there besides Jack Bros, but Jack Bros is an expensive Shin Megami Tensei like sideline title that you can't afford. But it's one of those consoles that's neat. And it is a good novelty item, and I heavily recommend anybody who's a Nintendo fanboy of any sort, like, to buy one, because they're only going to go up in value as age gets them.
Yep, exactly. I mean, like, I don't want a Virtual Boy, but it would be cool to have. So I'm kind of with you there, KB. But like, every console that I've ever wanted, I have owned in some capacity. I like, whether it's the special edition or not. So I'm not particularly fussed. Although I am pretty fond of the Orange Spice GameCube. I have had one before. I bought one. If anybody on, probably maybe not. There was a guy on YouTube. His name is Luke Morse. He lived in Japan, or he lives in Japan. I had him as a friend on Facebook. He was really popular on YouTube maybe a couple years ago, 10 years ago or so. So he would go to like Super Potato or like Hard Off or Book Off and like do game hunting in Japan, and then he would buy a bunch of stuff and then he would sell it. So he sold me a region-free modded GameCube in Orange Spice, which is pretty cool. So it's a nice looking thing. I'd buy one again.
Orange is my favorite color, and that is the GameCube controller that I use. I've got an Orange Spice GameCube controller that I use when I'm playing GameCube stuff, but I don't have the console, and I will never find the Game Boy Advance attachment that goes on it in the orange either.
Yeah, man.
Man, it is a pretty console though.
So let's show off some of the stuff that we have. I know KB's fanging to show off some of his things. Let's see it. What do you got?
So like the thing that I have, I think, in my collection that looks the best is going to be my lime green GameCube. My GameCube.
So is that original or is that a reshell?
This is an original shell that I painted.
Really?
He's got auto body experience, my man. That dude knows how to paint.
So and it was a black one, and obviously, as you can tell by the back, I didn't do those because I thought when it's sitting sideways, the black kind of looks nice. You know what I mean? Like you look at it from the front, and that looks real good. Now here's something real special about this one. If we open it up here, there is no disk drive. It is non-existent. There is the mod to it that makes this an all-digital GameCube. Nice. So I have my classic edition GameCube right here. I don't need Nintendo to make one. I'll just do my own. But that's what I have. I have a 3DS I grabbed that's also lime green and black, but that's out of reach. But like those are my things outside of my SNES 3DS that's downstairs. Like almost all my gaming stuff's peppered in everywhere in this house. A little bit in the basement, a little bit in the living room, a little bit in the kitchen, a little bit upstairs. You know what I mean? Like I got things everywhere.
Yeah.
And I should have brought out the paint job one too. I've got a paint job Wavebird that I did. Yeah. That's Mario themed. I was not as proud of that paint job as I would like to be, but it still looks good. I just didn't have the experience I needed to be painting plastic, manufactured plastic.
Now, I'm going to show off 3 of mine, and then, Cody, you're going to get out your giant suitcase, which will probably be the first thing that you take if you have a house fire. I mean, I've shown this before, but like I'm really proud of this. I think this turned out really great. I love this Game Boy Advance that I did. It looks really good. It looks really good. That is
nice.
And I love the touch capacitive button as well. So like you can change the brightness of the screen over here. Yeah. Toggle that. The thing that I probably have in terms of consoles that's the most valuable, it would be this one here, which would be the Pikachu 3DS XL. This isn't the new 3DS XL, but I had a look at this. These go for like 400 or 500 Australian. So I will probably hold on to this for a little while longer. Now this is the most special edition console that we could ever get, and Cody knows it. You already know. But check this out. I got the retro game remix Switch. How cool is that,
boy? You cheeky boy!
Look at
Man,
that.
looks so good though.
The RGR Joy-Con shell. So these, I want to give a special shout out to Lestats Mods for sending me the shells to do the swap. So I did the shell swap the other day while I was playing along with Cody's stream. So I've been playing a lot of Xenoblade Chronicles 3 lately, the DLC. But I mean, like these look really cool. I think the black Joy-Cons in general look cool. The only thing is the material that these are printed on. It's more of like a softer plastic, so I feel like it's kind of like it's more
soft touch.
What's that? I don't know. Like it's
a satiny.
They have
feel.
they have like a soft touch plastic that feels like satin. It almost has a cush when you touch it, but it doesn't actually cush.
Yeah, that would be it. So this is the kind of material that would probably scratch easily. So I'll go ahead and get some Joy-Con like clear cases to go on there. But I mean, that's pretty cool. These are one of a kind. So he's printed onto them. So shout out to Lestats Mods in the UK for sending those to me. The cool thing about like modding your own consoles is you can make your own special edition things yourself if you're handy. And Cody's getting his suitcase and he's going to show some stuff off as well. So here we go. We're gonna unbox and see what he's got. Shiny Bird, no, I did not commission him. He sent them to me for me to mod and then show off to promote his stuff. So sponsor of the show, Lestats Mods.
That's amazing.
Anyway,
I had to go get the box out. I didn't know we were showing modded stuff. I just got out like stock stuff, but
show it all.
I'll show you the stock stuff that I've got before I show you my favorite modded item that I have out of my collection. My favorite console variation that I own, my favorite special edition console is actually this. It's a Super Game Boy. It's you plug it into the top of an actual Super Nintendo and it plays Game Boy games. Inside there's Link's Awakening, my boxy pixel case Link's Awakening.
Oh yeah.
But I have two actual consoles that I love that are limited. I don't know that I would necessarily call them special editions, but these are very limited and there's only so many of them going around out there. And the first one is my all silver Game Boy Light. This Game Boy Light was in like the form factor of a Game Boy Pocket.
Yes.
But it has like this, and I don't know if my camera will pick it up just right. Let's see. It has like this, it's not going to pick it up well. This like Indiglow Timex kind of like glow on the screen when it's turned on. It actually has two switches, one switch for just on and then another switch for off. Only made in Japan. They had two different well, technically three different colorways. They had a copper tone one, they had the silver one, and then they had a Famitsu one, which is like a gaming magazine that's based out of Japan. That is, they call it the skeleton one, but it's see-through completely, and it's beautiful. It came in like this cool like card backing, like an action figure packaging.
So that's a front lit screen, is it? That's that screen.
I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is based on the way that it lights up, but I can't see any of the like whenever I tilt it, I can't see any of the lighting stuff in it. So it may be side lit for all I know, but technically front lit, I guess is what you'd probably call it. Yeah. But and then my final piece that I love that's very limited is my not for resale Nintendo DS download station. This was taken from a kiosk and I ended up finding it, and it's not complete because these things would mount in, and they had the stylus was actually attached to the kiosk unit with a wire, so that way you could actually use the stuff. But the way that they would use these is they would bring in special cartridges that you could download. It was basically Street Pass before Street Pass existed. So you could transfer data and event Pokemon and different things like that from this to your Nintendo DS that you had at home. So that's by far probably probably my favorite like one-off piece.
It's so cool that you just happened upon that.
Right. Well, it's not the only one that I have, but the other one, I've got a 3DS that was a kiosk unit, but it has no like notation that it's supposed to be a kiosk unit.
That's so cool that you just find these things. People are probably just giving them away on Craigslist. I think that's amazing. Good for you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Appreciate it. You know. And then really my final piece that I love.
Oh,
this is my modded baby. This is my Boxy Pixel.
The slate.
Essentially, it is the hingeless GBASP. It gets rid of the hinge. It has like this really sick, thin front screen. I mean, it uses the funny playing IPS displays that are in there. Has USB-C charging, an actual headphone jack. You can actually still charge it through its like mainline charging port. But I mean, it is beautiful. Six levels of brightness on this bad boy.
That's sick.
By far my favorite, and I did it in an Iron Man theme with like with brass buttons and the cherry red body. So that's my go-to favorite one.
Nice. Shiny Bird says if somebody sold DIY kits on making Game Boys from scratch, I'd totally buy it. Well, you can buy new boards. And solder on your own components. I mean, I think a lot of those you have to buy some original parts, but if you like, you can probably build yourself your own Game Boy with new boards and stuff.
There's somebody out there, I want to say they go by Natalie the Nerd, and she makes a Game Boy Pocket Color, and she sells her own PCBs that take the Game Boy Color boards and screens and put them in this form factor. And this is what I wish the Analog Pocket was the size of a pocket.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you.
So, but yeah, you can totally do it. You can buy, like Eric said, you can buy PCBs, you can buy all the stuff, make your own thing if you really want to. The problem is all that stuff sells out very quickly.
Of course.
There is a place that you can have it manufactured. So if you have the GitHub files for them, I think it's GitHub. I may be wrong on that.
GitHub.
But you can send those files to a place called PCB Way, and they will custom make you a one-off PCB. So that way you can just throw that into a Game Boy. You could buy your shells. You could do everything like straight from scratch if you really wanted to. It'd be really cool.
Pretty cool. Well, speaking of pretty cool stuff, we have a really great way to end the show with our wrap-up topic, so we'll be right back after these messages. Oh, sorry, I was just busy playing some Golden Sun, which is a great transition because we're talking about games that we'd like to see come back from the Game Boy Advanced as per our Google Doc. So what remakes and stuff we want from the GBA era? Mine is a no-brainer. So we had Advanced Wars come out the other day, which was really cool. Have I picked it up yet? No. Did I think I was going to pick it up? Yes. But I tell you, this freaking game rocks, dude. Golden Sun is so good. It's one of the most slept on RPGs or JRPGs of the last 20 years. And it's really fun. It's a fairly straightforward game. The story is really cool, pretty compelling. I think it's fantastic, and there's so many people out there that don't know about the magic of Golden Sun and its sequel. And I haven't played Dark Dawn or whatever it is on the DS. I know Ned has played it, and he said it was kind of but bring this game back
up like 30 years later. It's rough.
Get these freaking Camelot guys off their Mario Golf. Get them back into doing stuff.
Oh no!
Go do the good stuff that we actually care about. That's mine.
I'm with you. Like, honestly, like Golden Sun would have ranked up there as probably my number one thing that I'm clamoring for, a remake or a remaster, or at least a re-release of some sort to come to a modern day console. The gen system in that game is really cool. The way that you change your gens to change what magic and stuff that you're taking into battles is really neat. Like, it had like this Pokemon-esque collection system in it, and it was just pretty cool.
Dude,
like,
I had no idea because I played the game as a kid because you have 4 characters in the game, and they are like, you can tell by their aesthetic what kind of type they are, whether it's earth, wind, fire, or water. But I didn't know
our favorite 1990s R&B band, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah, and water. But one thing I did not know is that you can change who has Djinn. So like you can stack the Jin to be different and give your people different types. So like
that's my loadout right there.
Stacking Isaac with fire and wind. Some of the psi energy that he gets is like amazing. And I'm so dumb. And like Nettis in the chat says that's the point of the whole set. See, I didn't know that when I was a kid. I didn't know about chains and stuff like that. But like you get different magic powers by stacking the different Jin. Really cool, man. I love it. It's great. And like you do have a collect them all kind of deal. So like I'm wanting to finish this game by getting all of them. And as you can see, I have collected every one so far up until level 21. I've been following a non-spoiler guide so I don't miss anything because I'll be gutted because you can permanently miss them. So anyway.
You should collect them all because they carry over in your code and you cannot get them in the second one if you don't have them all in the first one.
How cool is that? It's so cool.
They need to do a double pack. But my game is going to be one that I think is extremely inconvenient to play in today's day and age. And unfortunately, I don't think it will ever happen. It's Boktai.
Oh, yeah.
I want Boktai to be remade because A, it would make it accessible. B, they could retool the Sun is in your hands system that they have in it and give you opportunities to not have to go outside to be able to play it or charge it with a UV flashlight. But that is kind of like my go-to because it's one of the games that I don't have in my collection because it's not affordable, but it is the game that I want to have in my collection, simply for the fact that I never got the chance to experience it whenever I was a younger man.
It's so cool.
That's wild.
Nettis and I had that game. I remember like I would play that as a kid with the solar sensor, and like if you have to play it while you're outside. So I mean, you got to go out and get some sun. And I remember playing it in the car and actually making my mother move from the front seat so I could sit in the front seat to get some sun just on a partial part of the road so I can like blast these vampires. It's a really cool. This is a Kojima game too, man. Like this is.
I didn't know that until this past year. I did not know it was a Hideo Kojima game. Like I was like, what?
So it's got some Metal Gear elements to it, man. This is such a great game. Game Boy Advance had some sleeper hits, dude.
It did. I ran across a lot of like hidden gems, and I'm like, man, this could work in today's day and age. On a stream I did yesterday, we did like hidden gems for multiple platforms, and let me just tell you, I finished off that stream with Star Wars Return of the Sith for the GBA. That's a good beat 'em up. Like, I didn't know that was going to be a good beat 'em up. They'll never remake that one. That's dumb. But because we were way past Return of the Sith. But it is a good little Scott Pilgrim-esque beat 'em up. Heavily recommend that one. Really enjoyed. There was another game that I played that I hadn't heard of. It was a spinoff of Shin Megami Tensei title called Demi Kids Dark. And Demi Kids Dark should be remade absolutely. They have Demi Kids Dark and Demi Kids Light. It was like it's more of a kid-friendly Shin Megami Tensei Persona-esque game.
Cute.
But it plays like Pokemon. It plays like Pokemon, what you would expect. And it's neat. It's different. It's neat. And I recommend it.
Oh, yeah.
What about you, KB?
I'm just throwing out so many. I'm sorry, KB.
Oh, you're good. Minish Cap, man. Give me the Link's Awakening treatment to Minish Cap.
Yep.
Yo, you just reminded me of a dream that I had. I had a dream, and it was legit. I was dreaming about this game. I dreamt that I went to like some sort of market or something like that. This is only a few hours ago, so it's still very fresh in my brain. I went to a market and I went to go steal Pokemon Crystal and Kirby's Tilt and Tumble, two of the like clear transparent games on the Game Boy Color. And I was like, no, I better do the right thing and put them back and actually pay for them. And then I saw this version of Minish Cap, and it was $70 US. And I was like, okay, that's a good price. I mean, because they're going for like 160 over here. And I was trying to I was just trying to buy the game from the lady, and she's like, no, you don't want that. You don't want to buy this game. Like, she tried everything she could to try not to sell it to me. And then I eventually bought it. So there you go. But
I got lost in the conversation there for a second and thought this was a real thing and not a dream. And I was like, what the f?
No, this is a dream.
Tell you don't want this.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Shout out to the Mega Man Battle Network collection as well. It had over 1 million copies sold. That's a Game Boy Advance remake or port, you know. So people like these games. Bring them back.
Well, yeah, they're good stuff. Good
Remake
quality
original
things.
Mario Golf Advance Tour.
That wasn't bad. Wasn't a bad one.
I want to give one more shout out before we duck off here. This is a game. This is a game that I remember playing. All right, this is a game I remember playing as a kid, and I loved it. Hamtaro Ham Heartbreak.
Hell yeah!
The dating sim for hamsters.
It's a good game.
Oh yeah, man! Not only is the game good, but the freaking show with Hamtaro
was real good.
and
Yeah,
Bijou.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, folks. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go get educated. Hamsters on a boat. Come on, dude.
What more do you need?
Let's go.
What more do you need?
Listen, old Cartoon Network, you would get Hamtaro and then you'd get Zoids. It was either Zoids first and Hamtaro, or Hamtaro then Zoids.
I freaking
Then
love
Sailor Moon and DBZ. It's all good. It's a whole good block.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I guarantee nobody expected me to talk about this today, but here I am.
It's a good game.
I didn't expect you to talk about Ham Heartbreak.
Single-handedly the only Hamtaro influencer on the web right now.
Just gotta do Ham games, baby. Just gotta do those
just
Ham
be,
games.
It's a great show.
Yeah, Hamtaro streamer, man.
Oh, well, you know what else I have to tell you?
What?
Go on Patreon. 3 tiers, more content, more often. Pre-shows, post-shows, all that kind of good gabagoo, whatever. It's all there. Go check it out. Go support the show if you like what you see. You know. We'll do it. Breakfast Champions pod.
I'm really selling this, Eric.
Oh, you know what I forgot to mention totally? You can go check out our brand new website at bocpodcast.com. It is now live. So please go check that out. You can go leave a voicemail. You can go do all that cool stuff. Hang on. Hold it.
We've got a special new tagline for the Midnight Snack episodes that was lovingly created by our friend DJ Bob in the chat, that if you want to hear us say it, you know, jump on over there, subscribe at the Patreon. You get the Midnight Snack stuff, you get the After Dark episodes, you get all that jazz. There's another one coming, folks, I promise. And that ain't going to be the only thing coming.
My Chrome has stopped working. I'm sorry, but it's the website's up. Go
It
check
looks
it out.
good. Go to bocpodcast.com.
bocpodcast.com. You can leave a note, which I better send, because we actually got an inquiry via our form. So I would like to share that with you guys.
Wunderbar.
BOC. We got a submission contact form. This one comes from Bob. Email address is bob@real.website. And the note that Bob left: I poopied in the potty like mom said I should, but I was born with tiny arms like a T-Rex and I can't wipe me bum.
Yeah.
Can you get Reginald to come back over and help me? He was so good at it last time. He makes me feel comfortable and clean. So thank you, Bob from real.website, for sending a submission form by our website, which is one of the cool things that you can go do.
Hey, thank you, Reginald, for making Bob feel clean.
Making those wipes easier. 1,000 wipes, still poop.
Any final thoughts here before we flick on over to our post show?
The catchphrase! Yes!